Driving a hybrid car, hybrid MPG, regenerative braking, EV mode, hybrid battery, eCVT. Here's something new most people don't learn until after they buy one. Your hybrid battery is not used like an EV battery. In most hybrids, the system only uses a middle buffer of the battery, not the full 0 to 100%, because the battery's job is to smooth power and capture braking energy, not to drive you around like an EV. That one design choice explains like 80% of the "why is my hybrid doing that" moments. Let's break this down. You bought a hybrid, or you're about to, because you want the smart life, fewer gas station stops, calmer driving, and better MPG without having to plug in. But if you drive it like a normal gas car, or if you try to game it like an EV, you can accidentally erase most of the benefit and convince yourself something's wrong when it's actually working perfectly. If you want to understand cars before you buy them and before you regret them, subscribe. This channel is for people who want the simple truth, not hype. All right, 10 things you must know before driving a hybrid. Number 1, your MPG depends more on your week than your badge. Hybrids don't save fuel equally in every situation. They save the most fuel when you're constantly changing speed, traffic, stop signs, errands, because they can shut the engine off and recover energy when you slow down. On the highway at $75 to $80, your hybrid advantage usually shrinks because you're not braking much, and the biggest enemy becomes wind resistance. Aerodynamic drag climbs fast with speed, and that physics tax hits everyone. So here's the question that predicts your real-world MPG better than any review. Do you do a lot of stop and go each week, or do you mostly cruise steady on the freeway? If your life is mostly steady highway, a hybrid can still help, but don't expect double the MPG. If your life is traffic and errands, that's where hybrids feel like a cheat code. Number 2, smooth beats slow. Always. New hybrid drivers usually mess this up in one of two ways. They either drive it aggressively like their old gas car and then wonder why MPG isn't great, or they become obsessed with keeping the engine off, so they accelerate painfully slowly, then stab the pedal later when they need a gap, and the engine kicks on loudly at the worst possible moment. The best hybrid MPG usually comes from smooth, normal acceleration and early, gentle braking. Not slow, smooth. If you want a driving image that actually works, drive like you've got a cup of coffee in the car with no lid. That's the rhythm hybrids reward. And before I forget, I want to say something. Dealerships make money every time you don't know what you're looking at under the hood. That's why I put together the anti-dealership checklists, a simple forensic guide that shows you how to maintain, protect, and diagnose your Toyota, Honda, Ford, or Subaru without getting ripped off. Print the checklists, grab a flashlight, walk around your car or your partner's car. If you find nothing, you've lost nothing. But 10 minutes and you'll see exactly what the service advisor never points out. One thing you catch early can save you hundreds or even a $4,500 surprise repair. Links in the description and pinned comment. Number 3, stop fighting EV mode. Your battery is a buffer, not a fuel tank. This is where most owners accidentally make their hybrid feel weird. You see the car glide in EV mode for a moment, and your brain goes, "I should keep it electric as long as possible." So you start feathering the pedal, trying to force EV mode. But remember the new fact from the beginning. The hybrid battery is intentionally used as a buffer. It's not meant to be drained deeply like an EV pack. If you keep pulling from it, the system has to recharge it. And how does it recharge it? The engine runs. So if you force EV mode constantly, you can end up with more engine runtime later at moments that feel random because the car is protecting state of charge and emission strategy. Here's the mindset shift. Don't chase engine off, chase total fuel burned. Sometimes the most efficient thing is letting the engine run briefly at a good operating point instead of draining the battery and forcing a recharge later. Number 4. Your engine turning on doesn't mean something is wrong. This is the first panic moment for new hybrid owners. You'll be sitting at a light, the engine turns on, you think, "Why is it on? I'm not moving." Hybrids run the engine for reasons that aren't go forward, like warming the catalytic converter and emissions equipment, providing cabin heat in cold weather. Many hybrids still use engine heat, maintaining battery charge, protecting battery temperature, powering heavy electrical loads, and sometimes just stabilizing system conditions, so the engine can come on and the car can still be operating normally. What matters is pattern. If it's cold out and the engine runs more, normal. If you're blasting heat or defrost, normal. If it's warm, the car is fully warmed up, you're driving gently, and the engine still runs constantly, that's when you start investigating things like battery health, tire pressure, brake drag, or maintenance issues. Number 5. Regen braking is your best friend, but you have to give it time. Regenerative braking is the hybrid's core trick. Instead of turning your speed into heat in the brakes, the motor turns some of it into electricity and stores it. But regen has limits. It can't always capture everything, and it works best when you brake early and smoothly. So if you're a late braker, you force the car to rely more on friction brakes, which wastes energy and reduces your hybrid advantage. So here's the simplest driving habit that increases MPG without thinking. Start braking a little earlier than you used to and keep it smooth. Now, quick check. Do you constantly rush up to red lights and brake hard at the last second? If yes, your hybrid is leaving MPG on the table every day. Number 6. Your brakes can last longer, but don't treat them like they don't exist. This is a sneaky hybrid ownership trap. Because regen does a lot of slowing, brake pads can last a long time. That part is real. But brake fluid still ages because brake fluid absorbs moisture over time. And if you drive gently and use friction brakes less, rotors can rust or get uneven deposits more easily in wet or salty climates, especially if the car sits. So you can end up with a hybrid that has tons of pad life but still feels like it has brake issues. What to do? Don't ignore brake fluid just because pads last longer. And every once in a while, safely, do a few firmer stops so the friction brakes get used and the rotors stay clean. Not panic stops, just enough to keep the surfaces healthy. Number 7. Learn what B mode actually does before you use it wrong. A lot of hybrids have a B mode, and people assume it's a magic charge the battery button. It's not.
In most hybrids, B mode increases engine braking and regen feel to help you control speed on long downhill grades so you don't ride the brakes. It can increase regen in some conditions, but it's not creating free energy. It's changing how the car slows down and how it manages excess speed. So use B mode going down long hills. Don't drive around in B mode all day thinking it improves MPG. In many cases, it just makes you slow down more aggressively and wastes momentum you could have coasted with. Here's the rule. If you're not going downhill for a while, you probably don't need B mode. Number 8. Winter will humble your MPG, and it doesn't mean your hybrid is broken. This catches almost everyone the first winter. Your MPG will usually drop in cold weather because the engine runs more to warm up, the battery is less efficient when cold, cabin heat and defrost can force engine runtime, tire pressure drops with temperature, winter tires can add rolling resistance, cold air is denser which increases drag, so if your hybrid gets 50 MPG in summer and 42 in winter, that can be completely normal. The smart comparison is not my winter versus my summer, it's my winter versus other owners in my climate. If your winter MPG is way below what other owners get in the same weather, then you investigate. Otherwise, it's just winter physics. Number 9. Tires are basically part of your hybrid system. This is one of those you'll be grateful you heard it now facts. Hybrids are so efficient that small rolling resistance changes show up clearly. Low tire pressure increases rolling resistance. Heavy, sticky tires increase rolling resistance. Aggressive tread patterns increase resistance and noise. So if you put cheap, heavy tires on a hybrid and your MPG drops, the car didn't get worse, you changed the physics. Same with alignment. A slightly off alignment can cost you MPG in tire life. So the simplest hybrid MPG habit that costs almost nothing, check tire pressure monthly. And when it's time for tires, don't just buy whatever is cheapest. Buy tires that match the car's purpose, because tires can quietly cost you hundreds in fuel over their life if you pick the wrong ones. Number 10. The battery cooling intake is not decoration. Keep it clear. This is the hybrid maintenance thing almost nobody is told at delivery. Many hybrids cool the traction battery using air pulled from the cabin through an intake and fan system. If that intake gets blocked, bags, jackets, seat covers, or the fan path gets clogged with dust and pet hair, airflow drops. Less airflow means higher battery temperature, and heat is the enemy of battery longevity. This won't usually cause a dramatic failure tomorrow, it causes gradual aging, less EV assist, more engine running, slower MPG decline over time. So find where the battery air intake vent is in your car and keep it clear. If you have pets, take this seriously. Pet hair is the silent battery killer. And change your cabin air filter on time, because the cleaner the cabin air flow, the better for everything breathing cabin air. Bonus thing you need to know, because it saves people from panic repairs. Your 12-volt battery can make your hybrid act broken. Hybrids still use a normal 12-volt battery to run computers and system logic. When the 12-volt gets weak, you can get weird warnings, glitchy behavior, and strange startup issues that make people think the big hybrid battery is dying. Sometimes it's just the 12-volt. So if the car starts acting electrical in a weird way, don't immediately assume disaster. Check the simple stuff. Now here's the mindset that makes hybrids feel amazing instead of confusing. Drive smooth, not slow. Brake early so regen can work. Don't fight EV mode. Expect winter MPG drop. Keep battery airflow clear. Maintain it like a normal car, because it still is one. If you made it to the end, you're already ahead of most hybrid owners, because now you know what the system is actually trying to do. If this helped, subscribe. Next, I'll do a simple first week with a hybrid checklist. What to watch, what's normal, and what symptoms actually mean something, so you don't waste money chasing problems that aren't real.